So, why your men's group isn't fixing your family? So, let me start by saying this before we begin. This is not therapy. This is not motivation. This is not content to make you feel better. This is fatherhood leadership. And if you're looking for comfort, this channel isn't for you. Now, if you want clarity, structure, and a standard you can actually live up to, you're in the right place. Because fathers don't fail all at once, they slowly fade quietly. And today, we're going to be looking at that. But before we go any further, I want to be clear. I'm not giving medical, psychological, or legal advice. If you need that, go get it. This is not therapy. This is about responsibility. This is about your home. So recently, I went to a men's group. I was invited by a pastor friend of mine. It was a small group, nothing flashy. There was coffee, breakfast, conversation, a lot of good men, positive discussion. It was all faith centered, very well intentioned. And I want to be clear about this men's group. There was nothing wrong with the group, but something was missing. What I noticed was this: men were being encouraged to lead, but nobody is asking where they were leading first. There was a lot of talk about community. Community matters. Men need other men. They need brotherhood. They need people who understand the pressures they're under. But community without order creates confusion. If a man feels more connected to people outside his house than to the people inside it, something is backwards. See, community is meant to support the man, not replace his responsibilities. When community becomes a place a man feels most seen, while his family struggles with having a relationship with him at home, the order is completely off. Community should send a man home stronger, not give him a place to avoid his home. There was a lot of talk about service. Now, service is good. A man should serve. He should give. He should show up for others. But service has an order. You don't serve the world while neglecting the people who depend on you the most. If you're pouring energy into someone else and your family is getting what's left over, that's not service. That's neglect. Your first responsibility isn't the people outside your home, it's your house. If your wife and kids are carrying the cost of how much you serve others, then something is wrong. There was a lot of talk about growth. Now, growth sounds good, and we should all strive for growth. Men want to improve, they want to heal, they want to get better. But growth that stays internal and doesn't change behavior at home isn't growth at all. If you're reading books, listening to podcasts, joining groups, doing the work, but your family doesn't feel or see a difference, nothing actually changed. Real growth shows up in how you listen, how you respond, how steady you are, how present you become. If your house doesn't feel your growth, then there is a question: what are you doing and who are you doing it for? There's a lot of talk about being better. Every man wants to be better, stronger, calmer, more disciplined, more grounded. But being a better man isn't a feeling, it's a role. You're not measured by how inspired you feel, you're measured by how safe, steady, and supported your family feels around you. You're not a better man because you understand more. You're a better man when your kids trust you and your wife doesn't feel alone carrying the weight. Being a better man always starts at home. The line that connects all four is community, service, growth, being a better man. Those are all good things, but they are not the starting point. Here's a test. If your home is stronger because of you, if not, then the priority is wrong. Because the first place a man leads isn't the world, it's his home. Now, here's the truth most men miss: you can be active in the community and still be absent at home. You can be respected outside in the world and ignored inside your own home. You can be growing publicly while your family is quietly adjusting to your absence. Leadership doesn't start in the community, it starts in your own house. If your home isn't in order, your leadership everywhere else is definitely misplaced. Men don't gather because life is good. Men don't show up to men's groups because they're bored. They show up because something is breaking. The pressure is high, the house feels tense, the connection is slipping. That doesn't make a man weak. It makes the responsibility carries got heavier, and heavier. See, men carry responsibility, and over time, that weight looks for a place to land. That's why men's groups exist. But here's where men get it wrong. A men's group is support, it's not leadership. It can sharpen you, but cannot replace you. You don't get credit at home because you showed up somewhere else. If you feel inspired because you went to a meeting, but nothing changes at home, you didn't grow. Support is not a substitute. Here's a line that cannot be crossed. A men's group cannot be a stand in for your role as a father or a husband. If you leave encouraged and return home distracted, you definitely missed the point. See, brotherhood is meant to send you back stronger, not distracted from your home. So let me say this plainly. If your kids light up more when someone else walks in the room than when you do, something is off. If your wife talks more to her friends than she talks to you, something is off. If your kids get quiet when you walk in instead of leaning in and wanting your attention, something is definitely off. And it's not because you're a bad man, it's because you're not as present as you think you are. See, being around is not the same as being engaged. Your family has already adapted to you. Your family already adjusted to your level of presence. They stopped asking, they stopped expecting, they stopped pushing. That's not peace, that's adjustment. And adjustment always comes right before distance. You can't be active in the community and absent at home. You can't be patient everywhere else and short at home. You can't be calm in public and checked out with your kids. Your kids don't listen to what you say, they watch what you repeat. Your past doesn't let you off the hook. Maybe you didn't have a strong father figure. That might explain you, but it doesn't excuse you. Your kids are not your past, they are your responsibility. If you didn't get what you needed growing up, that doesn't give you a reason to pull back. It gives you a reason to do better. So leadership is simple, not easy. Kids follow whoever shows up. If it's not their father, it will be someone else. The culture will lead them. Music will shape them. Social media will influence them. Friends will guide them. Silence from a father is an invitation for replacement. Not loud, not perfect, not intense. Consistent leadership starts with care. Encouragement without change is a lie. If you leave a group fired up but come home unchanged, then nothing really happened. The truth should always change your behavior immediately. So let me make this clear. Every day, whether you admit it or not, you're teaching your kids what a father is with patterns, not speeches. They're learning either fathers show up or fathers are somewhere else. There is no third lesson. Your kids aren't waiting for you to improve. They're adjusting to who you are right now. So here's the cost. Men don't lose their families in explosions. They lose them little by missed moments, short answers, and silence. One day this distance feels normal. That's the danger right there. So here's the standard. Men's groups are good when they are sharpening you. They become a problem when they're replacing your role. So gather, get support, be honest. But your first priority is your home. If your house isn't in order, nothing else you lead really matters. So let me leave you with this. Your kids don't need a perfect father, they need a present one. Your wife doesn't need intensity, she needs consistency. Your home doesn't need another excuse, it needs leadership. If this hit a nerve, made you think, or emotional, don't overthink it. Be there this weekend, be engaged, be steady. Now, download the free Fatherhood Action Guide below if you want structure. Apply for purpose-driven fatherhood, in the inner circle if you want accountability. This isn't therapy. This is just a community of fathers. It's a standard. I'm Jesse Anderson saying, lead your home.